I have faced a fair number of creative blocks, especially in this last year being at music production school. Books are one of the biggest reasons I was able to push through them and push out music every single week. These are truly books that have guided my artistry and helped me push past any creative block I've had in the last year. Book number 1 is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and this was actually recommended to me twice last year by 2 different artists. And this is a really great book if you haven't been creative for a really long time or you're like in this like extreme creative burnout. This one's really great because it's a 12-week structured program, so you literally don't have to think about it. You just like open the book, go to week 1, read the exercise and do the exercise. So you never have to be like, how do I implement this in my life? Because with a lot of self-help books, they do have like little tidbits, but there's so much like backstory and stuff like that. So this is filled with just like exercises on exercises, which is really amazing. To be honest, you don't even have to do every single exercise. Just do like one of the exercises a week in your morning pages, and you will feel a difference after a little while. I think a lot of my identity is like wrapped up in my success, and it has to do probably with, having immigrant parents and trying to make sure that they're proud. As a result, my inner critic is really intense and strong, but this book has really helped me have a better relationship with my inner critic and kind of differentiate who is who, whereas before it just felt like my inner critic and myself were just like one thing, and I would almost like believe a lot of it. So this book helped me change that. The second book is called The Dip, and it kind of looks like this. And this one's a really great book when you're trying to learn a new skill or you're getting into a new art form. I think nowadays, especially with social media, it's like so easy to be like, oh my God, why is everyone like figuring it out faster than I am? Like, why do I suck? Because the first few weeks are like really exciting. You're like, okay, I love this. This is super fun. And then all of a sudden you're in the slog and you're like, I hate this. I'm on the verge of giving up. Pick up this book because you will learn that the dip is natural. And I think about this a lot, especially with music production, because I'm still pretty new. And I'm like, okay, I'm just in the dip, and getting to the other side is worth it. Number 3 on the list is The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. I actually originally did not like this book when I first picked it up because it felt kind of like ungrounded in some way, but I'm glad I gave it a second chance because I picked it up again when I was going through another creative block last year, I think, because there's a lot of tidbits in there. You might not use everything, but I feel like you will find something that will help you with your creative process. Especially when I picked it up, I was really tense and I was really creating in a place where I wanted to make something impressive or like worth showing. And obviously that resulted in a lack of output because I was stressed out of my mind. This book really helped me find the permission to give to myself to try new stuff, to be creative and not be so like, to like really let my creative spirit flow through me. And I couldn't unlock that myself for some reason, but reading this book helped me just like ease up so I can get to the place where I can make stuff. Sometimes books only make sense in a certain time of your life. So if you pick up this book and you're like, maybe this is not like working, try picking it up when you really need it. I think it's a really easy read, and I've actually highlighted a lot of lines while I was reading through the book just to go back to. If you're a fan of his viral clips on YouTube and TikTok, you're definitely gonna like this book. Next up, we have Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his last name, but he has a variety of books for artists, but my favorite is Steal Like an Artist, which is the first one in the series, I believe. And this one's a super easy bite-sized read. You don't have to read it like front to back. You can literally just like flip to certain pages, go back, and there's really fun illustrations as well. This one's really great when you're just like, all my ideas kind of are feeling like, it's kind of derivative, and you're like, oh my God, it can't be unique. This one will remind you that nothing in this world is that unique, and you can steal like an artist. And this is really helpful so you just don't feel bad and guilty all the time. Book number 5 is Slow Productivity by Cal Newport. And I have been following his work for probably like 10 years since his blog's called Study Hacks, I believe. Anyways, His work has informed a lot of my views on working, on how I approached, time management and stuff like that. Trying to have a more natural pace and not be like, I'm busy all the time, I'm busy. Anxiety inducing that kind of work environment. After going to school with a lot of younger producers, I feel like I'm in a race against time because I'm, not that much older, but still a little older than them. And this book reminds me that I can slow down, I can work at a natural pace, and it's gonna be okay. Your work's gonna be amazing, and you don't have to do the crazy amount of output that everyone says you have to do on social media. It's okay to work at a natural pace, and this book really drives that home. I know this one's a little unconventional. It is kind of one of those like productivity business type of books, but truly for an artist, I feel like this is really helpful so you don't get caught up in the rat race of making content for only social media and not for you. And you're like, I have to push it out, otherwise no one's ever gonna know. You're gonna be fine. Slow productivity reminds you that there is another path and you can take it if you want.